Nice cloud there. First one live here with the dead. Late night hours. Chocolate mousse. Chocolate mousse. Yeah, the brown mousse. You know. Here we go, guys. This one's all about value. If you know how to make pudding, you can make a mousse. You can make this for $1 or $2 for probably 4 to 8 servings, depending on how much you eat. Okay, here we go. A little bit of vanilla in it. A little bit of good dark coffee. Really strongly brewed. Good whole milk, or 2%, but good organic milk. Those cookies in the backdrop are just for me to eat and you to look at. Don't worry, those are dark chocolate sea salt cookies. I'll show you that recipe a different time. Anyways, got to get to the pot. It's boiling. It's milk. Can't ever leave milk boiling, guys, and talk too long. It's not really boiling, because when it comes to a boil, that's when we're going to drop in this secret mix in this brown bag. You know, it's the brown chocolate mousse. I can't say, you know, what the story is behind this brown bag, but I'll tell you this: it's one of those things from my childhood and a lot of our childhood. It's a pudding mix, right? So that's how I start my mousse. I've completely whisked this, and I've been whisking it, and it's on a low to medium heat. And just whisk in the same motion at all times. It's a nice frothy milk. It's not boiling yet, but when it gets just when it's about ready to boil, like right now, I will go ahead and pour in the secret brown mix. Now that's got gelatin in it. So it'll start, as soon as this comes to a boil, that'll start to thicken. That's when you want it. Once it comes up to a boil, then you want to set it off. You get it off the heat, excuse me, and get it into the refrigerator. When you do that, the key is this here. You got to have it covered. Because if you don't, you get that weird thin or thick or whatever you want to call it, different texture. You get a whole other layer on top of it. That's garbage. El garbaggio. You cannot eat that if it gets like that. Now you notice I brought all my liquid up to a temperature beforehand, and then I dropped in the brown potion. That's how I like to make mine, because I get it fully smooth, and now it's already starting to get thick. I don't even have to hardly leave this on here. Literally, I'm going to leave it on here for just a little bit longer. Let it make sure that it does come to a full boil here again with that in there. And so there's a coffee in there, half cup of coffee, 1.5 cups of good milk, and then there you go. So just let that sit for just a minute. But guys, when I'm talking about good milk, I mean, I'm literally talking about stuff like this. It comes in like a glass jug. Like real milk for something like this. That's going to make your difference. That's also your thickening agent and your fat and your flavor when you're making a mousse and a pudding. You want it to be rich and full flavored and light and fluffy. So there it is. That's come up. It's completely coated my spoon. Shut that off. Take it. Reserve it. Put the lid on it. Set it off to the side for a minute or two, and then directly in to the fridge. Why off to the side? You don't want to drop the heat on it too quickly, instantaneously, and you can certainly leave the lid off for now for a minute or two to begin to let that start to cool down after it's gotten to that boil, and then lid it before you put it in the fridge. Okay, out of the freezer. What's in the freezer? You got to have your mixer, your mixing bowl, and your excuse me, utensils. If you're making a heavy whipping cream, get out your full heavy whipping cream. Get out your utensils directly out of the freezer. Right, we've been through this rodeo. Excuse me, we've been through this rodeo before. Drop your bowl in, lock it. Get this apparatus on. Lock it. Okay, right? The whisk apparatus, that is, locked and loaded. Okay, now, do not turn it on instantaneously. Pour it in. Now that's so thick it's having a hard time coming out. That's good heavy whipping cream. Whip the whole deal up. So thick it's having a hard time coming out. That's good cream. Yeah, anyways. Okay, here we go, guys. Now you can back your speed off for a second and then go to full speed, just so it doesn't go everywhere on you. But you are going to want this at full speed. You're going to want to whip this until it starts to thicken and get some good peaks to it. We're going to fold this into that pudding, and that's what's going to make your chocolate mousse. Only other thing I'm going to do, guys, is when this is all done, I'm going to add a touch or two of vanilla and a touch or two of this real thick dark coffee that's in here, this stuff here. I mean, it's so thick and so dark, right? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, have a good one, guys. Over and out.